Ulonka tabati yada tó yẹ kó máa da ifá. Inú tó yẹ kó jẹun lọ fi bí pa. Ọba tálá, ọba takuntakun. Ṣàngó, Èṣù, Ògún, Ọya, Ọ̀ṣun. Ìwọ ló ń bọ̀ nílé yìí. Kí ni ṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ tán ṣe nílé yìí o? Ó jẹ́ lọ jára rẹ̀.
Lafayette, peace and blessings. Welcome to another episode of the African Spirituality Experience. I'm your host, OjeYemi. And shout out to the tribe, shout out to the new subscribers, shout out to the new channel members, shout out to the new Patreon members, shout out to all the tribe who was rocking with us last night on the live stream for this week with the Everyday Ashe. And we are here in the building. We have a new guest today, and then we also have, as I promised y'all last night, a returning distinguished elder who's been heavily involved with the Patreon community, coming in, dropping jewels and pouring into the tribe, as well as on the channel, dropping jewels and coming into the tribe. So, ladies and gentlemen, without any further ado, we welcome back OjeYemi. How you doing? Lafayette, peace and blessings.
Thankful, grateful. Share Lafayette, Lafayette. How you doing?
Can't complain at all, man. I'm ready to get this party started because, like we were talking before we came on the air. You know, last time I spoke to you, man, you introduced me to some very powerful, prolific, profound information in regards to tonight's conversation. And like I was telling you, man, this chart hasn't left my desk since I got it. And then, like the day when you introduced me to it, like I had to take a nap before I could even finish reading, you know, everything you sent me because it was just that powerful. And I was telling the tribe last night on the live last night, like, yo, you might want to, you know, check your notifications and make sure that you're here for this one because it's going to be a very powerful conversation because you have a special guest that you brought with you that you said is going to take that thing to a whole nother level from even what you did with me. So without that, you know, to do with that, do you want to introduce our guest on the guest of honor? Yes, ma'am.
As Orisha Bimbi was saying, this cosmology is planetary. Is the cosmos. It has been around since the beginning of time. It is ancestral wisdom. I got introduced to it through the same way he did, through a galactic signature. And I read it. And when I read the signature, it's like I realized this is why I do the things that I do. This is who I truly am. You know, you go through life and you know you get your purpose and you know you're told what to do, but to actually read it, to actually see it, and then it opens something up in you. So quite naturally, I was directed to mimic melanated mortals making evolutionary change. And here's this sister just giggling and, you know, just free spirit. But the wisdom that flowed out of her, no war, no conflict, unification, no judgment, just free. So I introduced to you. When I say Kentucky, it means Queen Mother in Ghana, High Priestess Mayat of Mimic.
Hold up, and Alafia. And definitely is an honor to be here. And I already feel, you know, at home. It's just an energy already, you know. So, you know, thank you so much for having me here. And yeah, I'm excited. You know, the same thing happened to me. The same thing happened to me when I was introduced to the galactic signatures, and once I read mine, I said, "That's it. Okay, you know what? I'm okay with me now. I see. You know, people would always say I'm spacey, I'm windy, I do this, I do that. Well, guess what? I'm a white galactic wind, and the wind is spirit. The wind is spirit. They say I talk a lot. I just keep talking, right? And the wind is a communicator. And also, if anyone is familiar with the Kemetic cosmology, my last name, Maakheru, right? Maakheru is true of voice, or victory in voice. And if you really go into the research of that, it's like a title that that represents you. You are the Maakheru when you speak through the voice of the Creator. So guess what the wind is?
What's
The
that?
speaking to of the Creator. So
Mm,
it even matched my name, and so that was it. And so from that point forward, I took a deep dive into it, and and that's where it landed, and have been there ever since, and teaching it through our organization called Mimic Melanated Immortals Making Evolutionary Changes. And so I've been invited here this evening to give you guys a little bit of what we do, and you'll see how it correlates to many of the studies. As they say, um, you know, melanated folks, we were everywhere. I have a teacher who always says if we weren't everywhere, there'd be no people anywhere, right?
facts.
Okay.
So, and so we left the same cosmology, we left the same deities, the same energies, however you put it, everywhere. So as we go through it, you're going to see how these things correlate to this is this crowd is focused on the Yoruba, Ifa. Yes. So you're going to see how some of these things correlate directly to that, because it's the same. We leave the same information everywhere, so everybody, we can pick it up wherever we go. So yeah. So I'm ready to get started.
Yes, sir. Listen, before we do you mind if I ask a few questions? Because I love to ask questions, man. Because I love it, because yes, we're heavy Ifa, Yoruba, Isheshe, but we also very heavy, Kemetic, Kemet, and metaphysics and all that good stuff. So it really, there's no, we're not just one, it's not just one lane here. We definitely are versatile, because honestly, my journey really got started for real with metaphysics and being a student of like the Dr. Yorks and the Dr. Blairs, and learning about Kemet. And so before I even knew what Ifa or Yoruba or any of that was, I was deep into Kemetic culture. I've been a nerd in Kemetic culture since I was probably 15, 16, I think. The second years, I didn't get formally introduced into Isheshe until 2019 when I met my yeye. But prior to that, it was all Kemetic. But then I did see, the deeper I got into my Kemetic studies, I would start to see these, intersections kind of cross paths with Ifa and Sheshe, and I started picking up interest in that. And so the way it happened to me is because I didn't have access to any Kemetic priests or priestesses to like take my growth pattern, my growth on my journey to another level, because I kind of was stagnant, not having the connections. But down here where I'm at in Florida, we have kind of a big Isheshe, Ifa, population down here. So I was blessed to kind of cross paths with the culture that way. So, but I never left my, my upbringing from the Kemetic culture. So the channel is mixed with a lot of different healers and teachers and elders, from a lot of different cultural, walks. So it's all about collectively us building together, and not, one over the other, or, looking down nobody for nothing else. Because at the end of the day, I don't care what you do and what you practice, who you pray to. If you're in alignment with the energy and the ashe of what we're doing here, let's get it, because that's what it takes anyway. All of us. So, but I appreciate you. So with that, how did you get your start in the Kemetic culture before we get into the presentation?
What it's so funny. Mine is the reverse of yours. Wow. So, well, no. Actually, I started off. Of course, my background, like many people, I was raised Christian. I was literally raised in a cult. I didn't know it at the time, but because I was born into it. But cult is not necessarily a bad thing. It's a culture. But we were an offshoot of Seventh-day Adventists, and we kept all of the Jewish holy days. So I was basically, we kept the Sabbath, Friday sunset, Saturday sunset, and things like that. But as a child, I always, like many of you, right? I always had, I could see ancestors, I could see energy, had those spooky nights where everybody would sleep besides me, So spirit was a big thing for me growing up. When I came out of the Christian church, I actually went New Age. I went New Age because I started learning about the Celestine prophecy, conversations with God, and things like that. And I was getting these. I had a bad car accident, and I had back problems, so I was going to a chiropractor. After my chiropractor treatments, I would go to this massage therapist. Massage therapist did Reiki. And so when she started, she told me there was an energy massage. And I was like, energy massage, that sounds like the devil, the devil massage energy, don't nobody do that, right? So anyway, but I loved it. And so then I got trained in it. I got a, Reiki master teacher and all of that. And then I kind of started following the mind. I was interested in the mind. So I took this, I went through this extensive program in dealing with beliefs and where your beliefs came from. And I realized that most of my beliefs were given to me.
Okay.
And so, so I did that. And then I opened up I'm in the Washington, D.C. area. I opened up a wellness center here in Washington, D.C. And, I had all kinds of people come through. At that time, this was before, this was big on Oprah and all of that, when they were doing the DNA testing. This was, what's her name? Gina Page and Dr. Kittles. They have their thing that's called African ancestry. So they were only interested in testing the African ancestry. And so they would come in and do workshops at my center. And so I was one of the first groups that got that testing done. And, they tell you to test it first on your maternal side, because that's the only gene that it doesn't change, right? It's going to stay the same and it's going to go, whatever. So anyway, I did that and my bloodline came back Yoruba. So I knew that I was a priestess. I've always known it, even when I was in the Christian church. I got baptized early. I was, teaching the children. Like, I was just in it. Whatever it was, I was religious about everything that I did, even my work and things like that. So anyway, my bloodline came back Yoruba. At that time, I moved to California, and that's an interesting story too for another time of how I got all the way from DC to California. But when I went to California, I went looking for an Ifa temple. I went to Leimert Park and I went in there. I got in there once and I had a reading with the Babalawo. And he told me my Ori was Oshun. And then every time I tried to get back in there, I couldn't get back in there. They were having a festival. They were, it was just for the members or something like that. So then one day I go into, I lived out in the valley in California. So I go into this vegan restaurant and I see this woman sitting in all white. She had these long locks and she had the silver ankh on the table. It was her and her husband. And I said, who is that? And she was an elder. And I was like, I don't know who she is, but I know I'm supposed to be talking to her. So anyway, we wound up sitting next to them and she became my godmother, my boots. And so I went to Kemetic. I went through the Kemetic route. But after I finished my training, I became a priestess in the Kemetic tradition. We used to do these. You're familiar with it because in the Kemetic tradition we do a lot of chanting. We do the Hesses and stuff like that. So we used to do this thing where we would be in the temple of Amun-Ra. We'd be Hessing, and I would have I'd go into trance and have all kind of visions and stuff like that. And so one day we're in there and I'm in trance and I see all of my ancestors, the ones that had not ascended. Okay. And they came in, they were surrounding me in their temple and they said, we need, and I didn't know the word at the time. But the way translated in my head. I didn't know the word Ebal at the time. It just translated in my head as they said they needed a transformation, a burial. You know, they needed to be directed to the right place. And then so, but we have something like that in the Kemetic tradition, and they said it's not Kemetic. And so, and I at the time I told the high priest, I said, you know, I told him what happened, and he said, oh yeah, we can, you know, we can do a sahu, and I said, no, they told me it had to be Yoruba. So then I went, that's when I came and I went back into the Yoruba, and I did the ancestral ball, and I did some initiation for the ancestors. Yeah, for the ancestors. And I don't know what it's called. Say it again.
Yeah,
the Ogungun. Yeah, the Ogungun. Ah, yes. Matter of fact, I got a backpack with brother. He's a Gungun. Yeah, I did the Gungun initiation, and then I went through the thing, but I it's a long story. So anyway, I went I did go Yoruba, and then I was still always brought back to the Kemetic cosmology, and then from there, that led me into the brain balancing. I went through brain balancing training with Dr. Jewel Pukram, and when I was there, a brother named Baba Wanik Kimi Tuhudi Shabazz came in with the law of time. And he was the one who brought, who made us aware and started teaching classes about this cosmology. He also came with another brother who we now call Neb Taharka Kanish Kawak, who teaches another part of it that's even more, more technical, called the hollow mind perceiver. So when they came in, that was it. I had come out of hiding. I was, trying to sit in the back, right, and just learn what I needed to learn. But then when they came and they brought this cosmology, come to find out, Baba Wanik is my guide, my exact guide. And so at that point, I went knee deep into it, and we've even expanded it past the way that we learned it, because once we get it back, it starts, all these things started, clicking in. And then of course, if you see, I New Age, Kemetic, Yoruba, did a little bit of a Khan, Vudan, all of that stuff is all integrated into this. And so that's where we are now.
I love it, man. My wheels are spinning and turning all over the place. I already see. We're gonna have to definitely. I'm just gonna ask right now before we're gonna need you back. We're gonna need you back, because look, I already got other guests. I'm like, look, I need to do one with her and him. Like that, because I just see it, and it man, it's amazing. Like, it really is. So
I'll say yes. I'll be back. I'll be back. Yes.
So real quick before we get into it, I want to do this because you said you're from the Bmore, DC area.
I'm not. I'm actually from Chicago. I'm from the South Side, right? Yes.
Where are you Baltimore, DC from? You said when you.
No. That's where I live now. Okay.
Gotcha.
So, but I'm from. I was born and raised in Chicago, but I've been in the DC area since college.
Gotcha.
So, yeah. So I'm kind of sort of from here. I just,
The reason why I asked is because I got a brother. We did an interview. Shout out to my boy Austin, man. He's having an event up there, so I want to bring that on and promote the event real quick before we get started, because I was telling him, like, yo, I got somebody on from your area. So I was supposed to have this episode up already, but I had about earlier. I had a crazy day today, so I want to make sure I keep my word to my brother, and just give him a quick promo shout out real quick, because he's got a dope event coming up that he's doing for the youth up there in your area, up there in the Baltimore, DC area. So I'm gonna see if I can pull this flyer up real quick, shout out, and then put the links in for the family, and then get this presentation started. And while I'm trying to do that, are you familiar with Master Yasir's work? Because he's from Chicago too. Master Yasir, the comedic.
Comedic yoga, absolutely. Oh
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah,
yes.
that's my dude.
Mhm.
I gotta holler at Master Yasir. I haven't talked to him in a minute, but
Mhm.
he's been on here several times actually.
Oh
And so,
wow. Okay. All right.
but
Yes, definitely.
that's what's up. But let me find this flyer. For some reason, I don't want to pull up. I hope I can get it to come up.
And while you pulling that out, Mimic also have a program for young melanated immortal youth.
Who's that?
Okay.
Oh,
The high
your
priestess.
organization?
Yes, she has one.
That's what's up. This is I finally got it at my policy. So this is it. For those the tribe that's in the Baltimore, Maryland area, anywhere in the DMV, man. Shout out to my boy Austin. He's throwing the Grow Initiative is the name of his company and his organization.
Okay.
They got a dope HBCU social day and night party going on the 28th this Saturday, family. So I'll be sharing the links in the chat for y'all who are in the DMV area if you're interested in checking out the event and supporting the youth. Very powerful event, man. So I'm looking forward to sharing the commercial and sharing the interview that I did with him on the channel as well. We'll get that up tomorrow so that way I can make sure that we're able to promote it the best we can here at the Ashe Network. But with that, family, if you're in the Baltimore, Maryland, Washington, D.C. area, check out the HBCU social day and night party. They're doing some very powerful things for the youth. It's going down this Saturday, February the 28th. So I'll definitely post the links for the Eventbrite for you to get your tickets, family. So with that, now I'm ready to get into this presentation, man. I'm ready for this thing. I'm ready. So where do we start? Because you got some heat here for us tonight. I'm looking forward to it.
All right. So one of the things we talk about is natural time. So I'm gonna start there. So let's see, go to the next slide here. Oh, can I hit it or no? See, I don't think I have the controls.
I'm still trying.
Okay. So I'll just talk about where I come from. Mimic melanated immortals making evolutionary changes, and our mission is to shift the global consciousness of the melanin dominant population and establish an everlasting legacy of divine frequency beings with immortal health and immortal wealth through the application and remembrance of cosmic knowledge. So like you said, we have a shared vision. So this is one of the ways in which we do it.
Yes. No, I love it. You know what? Let me ask you another quick question because this is something that's been a very, very hot topic in debate. And I really don't care because I look at it like, to me, it's a win-win for me. It don't matter to me. But there's some people who are heavily, it's that way and that's the way it is. And some people are this way and that's the way it is. It don't matter to me. But you having the path that you've had and you having the background you have and what I've learned in this short little 15-20 minutes that we've been learning more about your background, what do you feel like in this thing? Because there are some people who are, okay, we're indigenous to Americas. The Americas is the oldest continent on the planet. We were here in the Americas before we were in Africa. Then you have some people say humanity started in Africa. We came from Africa and we migrated all around the world. There's no way that it started here in America. It started in Africa. Where do you come out on that? I've said it don't matter to me. If America's my mother, Africa's my father. If Africa's my mother, then America's my father. I don't care. I'm representing both continents because I feel like that's what, we've been everywhere. And honestly, I'm a cosmic being. So I'm not going to let anybody minimize me to saying one continent or one planet anyway. But that's just my
Come on. So, yeah, I think that whole debate and everything is part of the reason why we have this I'm going to say the short span in history, if we want to call it that, has happened because of the tribal wars. This is a tribal thing. And so it's part of the war. You heard OjeYemi talk about how, we're seeking to get rid of that whole consciousness that our baseline is war and everybody is a combatant and everything is a conflict and we come from deficit. Right? What if we you talked about the Dr. Blair's and all of them, they talked about at one time the whole planet, everybody looked the same. Everybody looked like the three of us up here, right? And so then what started happening is people started separating by, you know, whatever tribe they were. And then that also caused, this is just my perspective, and all of these things, this is the thing that I think that most people miss. There may be things that are true, right? So if I say that the smallest molecule is an atom, right? Okay, so that's the truth. But then if I give a perspective of that truth and I say, well, because the smallest particle is an atom, and so that means that the atom is beneath the whatever, you know, a molecule, and then I give a whole perspective of the truth. It's all of these things are perspectives, and so whatever perspective you need to follow, okay, to get you to wherever you need to be, then that's fine. Here's where I'm going to say again, and this is a perspective where I think it does matter. Okay. Is over here in these lands, right? We've been blindsided. You know, we don't know everything, and we're just starting to uncover the truth. Perhaps maybe everybody didn't come over here, take that long ride. That we just went from Florida to Louisiana and Maryland to Jamaica. You know what I'm saying? And so the importance of that, if we get into the bringing up, just like how my ancestors showed up in that meditation and saying, hey, you're moving to this next stage, you need to elevate us, you need to take us to the next level. So if we got people over here, if we have energies over here that we have not uncovered, that we have not spoken the names of, then we just leaving some stuff. You know, they say you don't leave no money on the table. We leaving this on the table.
Yeah.
So we do, I do, this is a perspective. I do think we need to elevate these energies over here in this land and take back the frequencies that existed over here, because the only thing, but not from a position of war, just for a position of unifying.
Yes.
Okay, because all of these, if it's pyramids in Africa and it's pyramids in North America and it's pyramids in Asia, then all of those things are connected, and the same people did the same thing.
Yes.
And as we know, there is not, they have, I you know, people have seen that video of how in China, the whatever, somebody, the minister of something wanted to prove that in China they didn't have melanated origins or whatever, and the farther they dig, they see us. And then he had to apologize. He was like, yeah, I guess we were, you know, whatever. So why are we fighting over that? Let's say everybody just agrees with everybody else, right? That we was over here first, and then this was first, and that was first. Okay, now what?
Right. Listen,
now what we gonna do?
I swear to God, I said that several times, because at the end of the day, what difference does it matter where humanity started? If it ain't gonna change the predicament that we are in as a people, and I'm talking about the whole entire globe, then what the hell are we talking about? Give me the end game and give me the transformation of us elevating up out of this shithole that, excuse my French, that we, we're dealing with right now, this crisis that we're fighting our way out of. Give me the results and the resolution to that, and I don't care about none of that. I'm gonna quote my, this is what I love dearly, the Honorable El Haj Malik El Shabazz, who I'm looking at right now. Religion and all that other stuff ain't did nothing for us to get this oppressor's boot off our neck. So we need to throw that in the closet and get this stuff handled first. And then if it's needed to be, we go back to that. But to me, I don't even feel like it needs to because the most important thing is to get the freedom and equality and to get us back to where we need to be without dealing with this foolishness. Like that's what matters to me. But that's another too.
I tell you, we stop feeding into the war. You know what I'm saying? But use it for, and we got people here?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And we need to bring up all of what we got here. Bring it up.
Yeah.
Call them names.
Yes.
Yes.
And put them in the, because here's the thing. And if you look at in Africa, right? And I've been there. So, you know, a lot of times people, I've been there. So I'm speaking from experience, right? And every area, right? They like, let's go to the Kemetic, right?
Mhm.
You have there's a land of Tahuti, there's a land of Aset, there's a land of, right, and even in Nigeria, right? Ile Oshun, Ile Ifa, all of these places. We have the same thing over here. And that's what I'm saying, that we need to raise up those frequencies over here, because every land space also has names that haven't been spoken. And you know, we might tremble some mountains. We might take some people off of how they carve them faces up on Stone Mountain. You know, we raise up the right names, that the faces might just fall right on off, right? So so we're gonna use it for that instead of warring with each other. I'm all for it.
Yes, sir. No,
I'm
I
all
agree.
for it.
I'm with you 1,000,000%. 1,000,000%. That's fact.
Well, I think it gives people a platform, really.
Yeah.
I think it gives people a platform to have something to say. Otherwise, they would have nothing to say. So and I think it also gives another race of beings, it keeps us separated and divided.
Yep.
So I'm like my high priestess Maya. Let's take away the war. Let's take away the let's take away the deficit. Who cares where we come from? We here. We all over the planet.
Yeah.
Unification. Let's take all that collective ashe and shift it.
I like that. Collective, I say.
If you, whatever you are, let's shift this energy. Let's become one. Let's move collectively, because we are planetary. We are cosmos. We are everything. We're star people. We're crystallized. We come from, it's designed that way. And it gives people a platform to have something to say, or otherwise they have nothing to say.
Right. And you know, and I'm all for all of it, honestly, because, you know, a lot of a vast majority of our indigenous heritage and our indigenous culture is buried so deep. A lot of us had no access to it. And I salute and praise the ones who do, you know, have the information. I just feel like sometimes it's almost like people are painting a picture that is less than, if, you know, to be from Africa or even to claim any of that. And I'm like, to me, that doesn't matter, because I definitely want to learn a lot more. And I'm learning more about, you know, the history of the Americas, but there's a whole lot more that I look forward to learning, and I'm looking forward to sharing it too, you know, once I do learn it, or bringing people who want to share that, you know, on the channel as well. But at the end of the day, the unification aspect, that's where I feel like we definitely have to get that part right. And then once we do, it's a wrap from there. So,
okay.
All right. So now I'm ready to get this presentation. My apologies for
no, I love it. Love it.
Spirit, man. I was like, let me just ask this question, because I feel like she knows some things about this thing. So I want to get that. So now I'm ready to go. I'm ready now.
All right. Let's go to the next slide.
Okay.
All right. So we're going to be talking about the natural time, right? And we just hit this first one, return to the galactic culture of our ancestors. We just talked about it. When they do the carbon dating of pyramids and stuff like that, and we do know that we have them here. We got all of those things here, and some of those things carbon date back to the ones in Kemet, back to the ones in the Sudan, back to, you know, the one in Asia. So they had to have had some sort of collective consciousness. I like how OjeYemi said the collective ashe to coordinate this. Right. And to have these things where they are aligned, not only with in addition to being aligned with the frequencies of the earth, right? They were also aligned with the frequencies of the sun. Why is it that everywhere you go, they got a temple to the sun and the moon?
Mm-hmm.
right? Everywhere,
Mm-hmm.
no matter where you are on the planet.
Mm-hmm.
And so so we had a galactic culture as well as, and here's the thing, here's another part of the separation, right? Is when we talk about the earth, right? So a lot of times people talk about the earth as if it is separate from the cosmos, right? And as one of my teachers brought this to our attention, right? The earth, it, it ain't it in the solar system? And the solar system is
Yes.
connected to the cosmos. And the cosmos connected,
Yes.
to the, knee bone connected to the thigh bone, the thigh bone connected,
I was thinking the same thing.
So why everybody want in this third dimension, and this this lower for, and I say, I think we're doing ourselves a disservice when we start talking about the frequencies, like something being lower and something being higher, unless we mean it there's another way to look at that, right? And but if we talk, so we said, how about this is a slower, right, frequency, not a lower,
Right.
because again, those two things put you at war.
Yeah.
They put you in conflict.
Yes.
Because if you think that your physical form is lower, or in your lower chakras, and lower and higher in a hierarchical manner, meaning whatever is higher is better, okay, than a lower, where the lower is anything that you thinking about in your meditation, and you stay in the ethers and stuff like that, and you actually want to experience it, then it's gonna have to come through those so-called lower chakras and frequencies, right? So the earth, the only difference is it's the same difference in our bodies, right? Our body is our slower form, not our lower form, and it has the full capacity of source, right? Because this is something I've been thinking about and been contemplating for a while. I said, hey, it doesn't make any sense when you read all the books, that say we were created in the image of. What if we were created in the as the image of? Not just the image, a likeness as. Okay, the image of the creator. Then why would a creator create a physical form that is so weak that a virus, a bacteria, any animal that with sharp teeth, anything from another dimension, anything with a gun, or or whatever, can just destroy it?
Right.
What if that's not true?
Right.
And we just been told that.
Not true.
Okay. And we're not using the full capacity of this form, because we've all been in that program that said, oh, we got to kill each other, and and the body is weak and the flesh is weak. And what if it's not? What if we just ain't even tuned in to the full capacity of being in the image as God instead of and just a sort of kind of
God.
being, there you go. We just kind of sort of, I'm saying, and not it. And so, so if we take that again, these are all perspectives, then this is our slower form. Our slower form allows us to touch consciousness, to touch feelings, to touch emotions, right? And it has just over time been perverted to pain and suffering. Or maybe, what if that's not the default? What if the default is joy? And again, here's a way in which maybe it is possible if you look at children. For the most part, what do? And here you go, OjeYemi, and we teach our children this. We teach our children what we're learning, so they don't have to go through all of this, right?
Yeah.
We asked a question in our children's class. We have every Friday at 7 p.m. We have a young melanated immortals class. So if anybody's interested, just go to the website. We asked the children. There was a question about changing the past, right? So we asked the children, what do they think about when they think about things that are in the past? And do you know what most of the children said, if not all of them?
What's that?
When they thought about their past, somebody said they thought about when they went to the fair. It was fun. Somebody was talking about a conversation that they had with their friends. They all thought about pleasant things from the past.
Sure.
When you ask us what we think about from the past, what's the first thing we do? Oh, Lord. Whew. I had my past is a little sordid, right?
Yeah.
For the most part, we don't go to what was joyful in our past. We go through what hurts.
Yeah.
So they're closer to the default, and their default is joy. Even if they got a bad spanking or something happened, they fell down and they broke their arm. They're not what they remember about breaking their arm? How everybody wrote on their cast.
Can I interject real quick and share something?
Come with it.
I truly love that where you took this conversation, because I literally just had a consultation last night with a young brother, right? And it was his very first divination consultation, but I picked up that he had a very powerful spirit. I picked up he was very intelligent. He was very highly intuitive. Like, he had a lot of very powerful gifts. He was a seer, a dreamer. He had premonitions. I picked all that up from the old dude that came. And then when I actually started talking to him, Spirit's giving me the downloads, and I'm asking him about his gifts and he answered all that. But the thing that I love the most, and I don't know how old the young brother was. I would say maybe early 20s, even if he was in his 20s yet. But the thing that I loved the most was I asked him, what do you think about your gifts, like in your mind and your, the way you see things in the world and your mindset? He's like, well, I feel like, the way I look at it is I always try to think positive. It's like, because when I think positive, it's like most of the time, every time I think positive, the positive things happen. Like, those are the things, everything manifests. He's like, but if I think negative, then that's what happens. So once I realize the difference between the two, I always just choose to think positive, because that's the way that I can create the positive, life or experiences or the manifestations. I love that.
I'll say.
I know how many people I wish had the ability to think like you, because whatever happened yesterday, that's yesterday. You can't go back if you wanted to. If it was miserable, I don't give a damn. You can't go back there and live that misery, because it's gone. But if you focus on today and what you can do tomorrow, you can create whatever you want to. So it was just like, it's truly divine to hear your children, who you do the coaching and teaching with, to say what they're saying. And then I just had that last night. I'm talking about last night, and it's like, yo, that's dope. I love it.
I'll say.
That's what's up. Okay, I'm
okay.
So I didn't mean to cut it, but it's just like the alignment with what you were saying and how that just happened to me last night. It was truly divine. Truly divine.
I'll say.
I have no OjeYemi. I think hopefully her phone didn't disconnect. But do you want to go back into you want to finish the thought, or you want to go back into
no, I think we were talking about natural time. Oh, okay, let me finish on natural time. And we talked about the return to galactic culture. That's what we really been talking about in that whole time. Let's talk about natural time. So natural time is what is that, right? And so here's the thing. A few months ago, right, we were in December, and many of you have heard this. Now it's very popular on IG and TikTok, right? But we were just in December, and we know that Dec means 10. We was in November. Nova means 9, and so on and so forth. And all of that was because of how crazy. I call it Greg and them's calendar, right? The Gregorian calendar. Greg and them, they just started acting up, right? Julius and Augusta Caesar wanted months, so that's why we got July and August, and that's why the numbers are off on the calendar. And then even prior to that, because during Greg and them's time, they ran out of money, and they wanted people to pay taxes the next day. they took 10 days out of the calendar. And so we think it's, what is this, Wednesday? It absolutely is not Wednesday. It's something else, or whatever. So that calendar is crazy, right? So that's fine. We use that calendar as markers. That's where you get, you can use it to make sure you get paid on time, and make sure we're coordinated with the same date. But when you try to use it as in a spiritual fashion, this is where these other calendars come in. This is where the Olmec, the Maya, Dogon, they use different calendars. The Ethiopian calendar, they're all different, right? And so natural time is based off of natural cycles, right? And so a natural cycle is approximately 260 days. Now, why 260 days? Because that's the gestation cycle. It's approximately 9 months. So, and that's how long it takes for one of us to incarnate. This is why we call them incarnation cycles into this physical form. And that physical form, like, that's not something to be taken lightly, as we know, right? Because everyone comes in here with a specific purpose for being in the image as God, as the creator, right? There's a mission that we decided we wanted to take, and we needed to do it in the slower form, in the slower realm. And so we had to come down here in these physical formations and to get it done. And so this is what these galactic signatures are. That's what you have. that's what you got. You keep looking at it like, whoa, right? And so that's natural time, right? It's based off of a natural cycle. We call that cycle the 1320, right? Because there are 20 archetypes. Archetypes are like the Orisha, the Netzeru, the Loa, right? And you'll see the attributes of them. And then 13 is the various functions in which those archetypes operate. So that's like, how they have all, until you get deeper into Yoruba, right? You might only know like a few of the Orisha, and then you might say, but then like they told me I was Oshun, right? And then they told me the path of Oshun, right? So there are 13 of those, right? And let me tell you here's something too. My Oshun is Ibukele, which is the high priestess. The wind is the high priestess. So it followed me everywhere I went. It didn't matter which cosmology. I'm always the high priestess. I'm always the wind. And then it was interesting because when they told me I was Oshun, right? I said, Oshun, so I think Orishas get a bad rap. Okay, I think that the way that they have been, they are described, do not necessarily represent the divine attributes of who they are supposed to be. And so when I first learned about Oshun was interesting. And anyway, that wasn't me. So I was like, Oshun, like me, like I think I'm cute and everything, but I'm not necessarily an Oshun, that I know of. And because I'm a little, I'm more
there's so much more to all of them. Because even like Obatala, when I found out my path to Obatala, I was like, oh, okay, that makes sense. Because I thought I was out of Shango when I first really started studying Orisha, right?
Yes.
When I got my lecture, I found out I was a child of Obatala. And then I was like, okay, I started learning a lot more about it. And when I went through my first initial ceremony, I found out I was Obatala Oshagin. So now I'm like, oh, okay, now that really makes sense.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Because it's so layered, and you gotta go deep. And the deeper you go, the more you see, like, oh, okay, now it really starts to make sense because they've been there all along, in every aspect too. I'm sure they've been in you the same way they've been in me, and how they in everybody.
Also, I think it all depends on who you learn the cosmology from.
Yes.
There you go. There you
It all
go.
depends on who you're learning it from, because
Yep.
some people depict Oshun a certain way. Some
Hmm.
Yep.
people say Obatala. They give you Obatala because they don't have anybody else to give you.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, but
Yeah.
like I said, it all depends on who's
I
teaching the
say,
cosmology.
Yeah.
I
Because some
say,
people, they might actually be Olokun, but they'll actually make them as Imoja because they might not know how to do, the Olokun ceremonies. It's a lot. It's a lot of that too. So it's definitely a whole lot of
yep.
that too, for
But
sure.
I
as she
say,
talked about the 13, there's the 13 tones of creation.
Mm.
I say, I say. And so those are the different, so you can be like you're the red moon. So you can be the magnetic moon, you could be the lunar moon, you could be electric, you could be, self-existing. And so those are like the different pathways of how this works. And so the 13 times 20 is 260. And so
Mm.
that's how we get the 260 expressions, or the 260, they call them 260 faces
Mm.
of God, of the creator. And so each one of us come in as one of those expressions. So let's see what we have, where I am.
I'm gonna go
Talk
back.
Okay,
about
but before you
it.
go there, when you say
Oh,
Uh-huh.
the 13, what is the number 13? Where did
Thank
they
you.
arrive with the number 13? From what?
Yes.
From what aspect?
the
So
money.
third, oh, who you talking about me?
Of
You saying it?
course.
Oh,
Of
okay,
course.
okay. 13 is a feminine number. And that number comes from, it takes 13 days for an egg to mature. On the 14th day is when it's released. And if you follow each of those tones, they literally line up almost hormone to hormone. We go down to the hormones. We have mapped out the hormones and everything of each day of the 13 tones, which is why it's called the 13 tones of creation,
Mm.
because I know it might be a little bit of a rug pull, right? You know, um, usually we say that the creation starts with the sperm, right? And a lot of times we don't hear about the feminine side and how the the process that the egg goes through,
Mm.
right? And so that 13-day cycle is what preps the egg to be fertilized, right?
Mm.
So, as they say, which what came from the chicken or the egg, right? And so when you follow the feminine cycle, you'll see how 13 is very significant in that,
Yeah.
because that 13, when you get to that cosmic tone, which is what we're on this plasma, we're going to show this in a minute. That is the tone that then bridges you to the next level in the feminine cycle. When you get to that 13th day, that is the day that determines what that egg is going to do. Either that egg is either, if it's not fertilized, then it literally goes through the same cycle. And this is why I'm gonna need to come back, right? It literally goes through the same cycle as a supernova star. And we mapped it, right? If it's not fertilized. And so this is a power that the women have every single 28 days, and they may not even know it, right?
Mm.
And then we got something for even if you don't have a cycle.
Mm.
Then if it is fertilized, then it literally mimics a cosmic event, a galactic event that can change a whole solar cycle, a whole
So,
solar system.
mm.
Okay, if that's when that sperm meets the egg, it's a whole change. It creates a whole new uh the solar system, a galaxy, or whatever, which turns out to be one of us. That's us.
Oh shit.
We
Mm.
literally, it doesn't matter if you were the first child or the 25th child.
Mm.
Each time a child came into that family, a being came into that family, it literally mimicked a cosmic event that may only happen every billion years, or multiple billions of years, right? We haven't had a cosmic event in this area, for billions and billions of years. If that happened, that's over. So if we think about who we really are, this is why I say we are in the image as God.
Yes.
Because it took a whole cosmic changing event for us to come in. And the only people that can minimize that and make that, like it's nothing is us, as us.
Yeah.
We're the only ones to get to say that.
Yes.
And so once we go back to our origins and change how we are looking at these things, then perhaps we'll have different experiences. We don't necessarily need the war, not for what we're warring for now.
Right.
Right. So.
Listen, that's powerful. And then we're gonna get back to this presentation, but it's just so much organic, like wisdom and understanding coming through that I don't want to stop, because Monday, the ancestors has been on me heavy about doing a show every day. So I'm like, you know what, I got to be obedient. So like as of Monday, it's been every day Ashe, right? So we started out Monday. We're talking about the State of the Union, I think, but I went all over the place. But the dope part about it is I did a lot of research to just kind of like catch up on all the different current events from a lot of different levels and areas. So the main thing about it, I started out with it being Monday, in Yoruba and Isheshe, Monday is OjeYemi Day, right? So I gave homage to the mothers. I did a prayer for the mothers, but I wanted to also start from the planet, honoring the mothers. So I shared this video that I want to share with y'all real quick, because it's going to take it to a whole nother level. And then I have another picture I would like to share, because it's bringing about the cosmic Yoruba pantheon from a planetary aspect. But Monday, when I started the show, I shared this with Mother Earth, and let me pull it up real quick. Let's see. Right here, boom. So check this out. When I shared it, I didn't realize until after I watched it later on that night that in this happened on February 15th in Hawaii. Very powerful volcano, right? It erupted 42 times. And we all know that is the 42 laws of your namesake. Right? Then it erupted up to 1,300 feet high.
Whoa.
So, and when I was sharing, I'm like, yo, this is Mother Earth letting us know that she is breathing, inhaling and exhaling, letting us know she ain't with the bullshit. She ready to make stuff happen. But I wasn't even looking at the numbers. I was just talking based off of what Spirit was giving me. And when I sat back and watched it, I said, oh my God. 42 times, which is the laws of my eye, and it went up to 1,300 feet high.
Divine feminine.
That's it.
About Shango, but then I was telling them, I'm like, yo, but I don't know how many, like you saying earlier, how many people know. A lot of people know about the main Orishas, but how many people know about Aganju, who is the Orisha who is considered to be Shango's father, but also the Orisha of the volcano. So you talk about the divine and the divine feminine. Yeah, mother ain't playing. She ain't playing, man. So I just
okay. Okay. Yeah. Anyway, a whole bunch of things just went off. A whole bunch of things just went off.
Yeah, listen. So and
So while that is going, can I say something?
I'm gonna take it off and let you say anything you want to say.
Can I say something? If we have to purge and cleanse ourselves, why would not Mother Earth has to purge and cleanse herself? So when a volcano or something happens, isn't she allowed to purge and cleanse?
Oh yeah.
You know what I was thinking too about the vaginal fluids. Our fluids are acidic. They burn. They burn off things. When the most and I know we know this, but most of the sperm, when it enters into the vagina, there's over 2 million sperm that are released. Most of them, as I like to say, got by the vaginal fluids, like that volcano, right? They do. So that's why the men have to have so many, so that the other ones can walk over them lava rocks and get into the cervix.
Man, listen.
That is amazing. Oh my God. And there's ooh.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's the vibe. When I was solo, I said it too. I wish I had the clip, but I said it. I said, and respectfully to all the females, I personally feel like this is like the female when she's on her cycle, the menstrual cycle. She's flushing out the old to prepare for the new. And it's just like, for y'all to come back and say that as the feminine, like, I'll never be able to be that. But the fact that y'all said that too, that's how I feel like spirit works, when it's working through us.
I say, thanks for that.
All right, now let's get back to this presentation. I know they probably like, oh, y'all, you look dirty. Hey, yeah. Okay, boom. So here we go.
Okay. So we talked about the return of the galactic culture. We talked about natural time. So let's go to the next slide. Let's see what we got here. So that's what we just talked about, this natural time and this galactic spin. I just want to show you real quick. If you look at the chart, there's the one on the bottom, and the one on the bottom is a modern translation of what you see on the top. That those wheels, and they literally still have Mayan elders that turn these wheels every day. This is literally the wheel of time.
Wow.
Right? And so you see the big circle and the little circle. There on that big circle, there are 20 archetypes, and in that little circle, that's 13. And then the notches, those are the years. Those are the solar years. So every day they come out and they turn that wheel, and it turns to a different archetype and a different tone. What you see on the bottom is a flat layout of that. Why is it flat or two-dimensional? It's because of the programming that we have, and it helps us to align these two things. Looking at it that way helps us align with this spiritual or spherical energy, right? And so but if you look at it like this in the two dimension, you'll see it look like a DNA strand, right? So with the green, with the ones that are in green, and those are called portals. And so that's a whole other, it's just a way that on those particular days, the energy is amplified. That's what it means when you see those. So what you're seeing in that flat chart, this is called the Zokin, right? Kin is day, and Zol, or the Zol or whatever, is like time. Right? That's the time of day, right? And so there are 260 of those, and it's small on here, but you can see that just going down the left hand side, those are 20 archetypes, and then going across, you'll see all of the different tones or the different faces of the creator, and they happen in these 13 unit cycles, which they call wave spells or cycles of creation. And so every 13, we call them plasmas instead of days, we are we go into a new wave spell. So like today, we're literally on a 13th tone, which we're ending a cycle, and we're about to go into a new cycle of 13. And so again, for the women, we're walking around with the whole cosmos. I like to always let the women know that in addition to being associated with the moon, if you got the moon, you got a sun, right? Because a moon is a reflector, not a director. And so if all you are is a moon, where's the sun? Right? Or how are you walking around with something? What is it reflecting? Right? And so in our bodies, we carry suns. We carry the earth. We carry the whole universe. You got a sunset and a sunrise in there. I can show you all the phases of the moon that happen every single day in our bodies. We got supernovas, black holes. We just saw the volcanic eruptions. This happens all the time. And we think that we're in quote powerless. But again, this is all about changing our minds about who we are.
Facts.
And if you can hold a whole supernova in your body, if you can hold a whole galactic event in your body, and you bear let's say women who have 7 and 8 children, you know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, I know that's unusual in this day and time. It's usually 3, or something like 2 or 3. But you have 8.
That's how many my grandma had.
Yeah. And those women are so vital. Man, I'm telling you, I have never, the mothers, the more children they have, to me, it seems like the more organized they are, the more vitality they have. They are just, and we're sitting around like with 2 children, like, how do you do it?
Yeah.
How do you do it?
Yeah. Yes. That's a real thing.
Because they keep going, they keep expanding like the universe, like the galaxy, like the cosmos.
Yeah.
So that's my point. So let's go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No. I was going to say that I agree with you, and it's crazy because like in my mind, I literally just saw like a spiral, like like literally like from an egg, and it just like was just spiraling out, just like the galaxies look like, because this is powerful. That's all.
Well, the journey is spiral. It's a spiral journey.
Yes.
We've been told it's everything else, but when you're in the womb, how are you in the womb?
Right.
Aren't you spiral in the womb? When you look at the cosmos, what do you see? Spiral.
Yeah. Even the snail shell, like the snail shell that Obatala, is a attribute spiral. So he was considered to be one of the first, if not the first Orisha. Yeah, it's a lot, man. It's a lot.
So I need to ask a question, HP, about the 20 archetypes. What's another name that we call them besides archetypes?
Now, I don't want to give the
No, just
the Hispanic name.
No. You said that just like we have a moon inside of us, we also have a sun inside of us. So
okay, yeah, the solar seals. Okay, I was like, I thought you asked me. I'm going all the way back to the Olmec name, right?
Solar seals.
The solar seals. Yeah, they're suns. Right? These are suns. Each of us we represent a sun, which also correlates directly to the feminine system. That egg looks like the sun. It looks just like a sun, and when you look at the sun in a telescope and you look at an egg in a microscope, and especially when they show how when they're doing what is that called, in vitro, and the sperm, or what is that, artificial insemination, and they can show how the sperm is swimming around the egg
in the sonogram, or whatever they call that thing.
Yeah, in the sonogram. The stars attract comets. And they swim around the suns the same way. And if a comet penetrates an egg, excuse me, see that? A comet penetrates an egg. A comet penetrates a sun or a star, it is a cosmic event.
So literally, as above.
And let me for the brothers, what's a comet made out of? The comet is made out of some of the most ancient particles in the universe. That's what's in it. They said the dust in the comet. Right? The comet is cold, the temperature. of the comet is it's ice, right? And the sun is hot. Eggs are hot, right? Eggs are warmer than the sperm. The sperm are, the body temperature is 96.5 degrees. The sperm temperature is lower than that. I forget how many degrees. So it's cold, just like a comet.
That's deep.
These are not, come on, you can't make this stuff up.
No.
So we've been told we like the moon. Really? Are we though? Is that all? In addition to, like I said, is it that we on the moon cycle, or is the moon on our cycle?
Man.
Because that ain't the only thing we got. We carrying suns, literally. And we have the same. What then does that energy within us represent, and that we haven't activated yet? And we're not now. Again, here. Let's go into the calculation from a war mind of what that means. Oh, well, that means the women got to rise up and take over and do this and do that and go. And then we just, sometimes when they talk about the rise of the matriarch, and we all know that that's what's happening, right? The war mind might say, well, what's going to happen is the women are going to come and just replace the war. It's going to be us in charge of the tanks and the guns and the things or whatever. I don't think that's what it means. Right?
No.
That's not the calculation to make. The calculation is not that since we have the power of the sun and the universe and the this and the that, then that means somebody has to be in charge of the other, or somebody has to be superior, or somebody has to be inferior, or whatever. Those things were given to us.
Yes.
In certain languages, they don't even know what that means. Means, what are you talking about?
Yes.
We usually take it and we equate it to, like, I love trees, right? So I do a lot of study in the trees, right? And so, underground, they have a whole network, right? A whole mycelium network they have underground. And the mother trees, they call these the mother trees. They have more resources than everybody else. These are the big trees. And they don't necessarily distribute everything equally. They don't say, hey, I got 20. And so, they only have 18. So I'm going to give them 2 or whatever. So we, whatever. No, they give, if this tree over here is not getting enough sunlight, then 2 of the mother trees might send that one sunlight. Right? And let the other ones that are already getting sunlight, y'all be all right. You know what I'm saying? And then it might be one that has enough sunlight, but it is just producing like crazy. And it's off the charts. They still send that one, sunlight and minerals and chlorophyll and stuff like that. And so nature, a lot of times, this is one of the reasons why we studied nature. We talk about returning to our culture. We studied the cycles in the earth, the cycles in the stars, so that we can remember that this is how we were created as well, not to be beneath the cosmology, but to be in alignment with it, to remember that this is all, as above, so below. Everything divine stays divine. Right? And we operate in the same way. So,
So this is how I see 1320. I see 1320 as saying that we have the divine feminine and we have the divine masculine. Right there. Harmonious, androgynous beings.
Yeah. That's yeah, we'll go there, man. Look, I got to share that. I got to share this real quick. This is the last time I'm gonna interrupt by sharing something. But I have to share. I don't know where y'all gonna go with this, but I know y'all gonna go somewhere. I've shared it a few times, but I feel like this is definitely a divine time to share it again. So let me find this. Actually, this chart. Well, it's not a chart. It's actually a Oh, here we go. I got it. I'll show you. Boom. Okay, so this is the astrological African cosmology from. I found this in the palace at the Oni's Palace in Ile Ife. I had never seen anything like this before, but it attributes the astrological the deities to each corresponding planet or star, right? So I had never saw that before, but it got each one of the orishas or the deities is connected to a star in the heavens. So like Oya is Pluto, Shango is Uranus, Obatala is Jupiter, Oshun is Venus, Imoja is the moon, Oduduwa the earth, Orunmila the sun, Ogun is Mars, Eshu is Mercury, Obaluwaye is Saturn, and Olokun is Neptune. Ain't that something?
I say.
Orisha Bambi.
Yes,
When
ma'am.
you go to when you truly get a true Babalawo,
Mm-hmm.
the true Babalawo will tell you about the true story of creation.
Mm.
That Ola Demari was not the first creator.
Mm.
They will tell you that they are come from the star. They will tell you about the star people. They will tell you about the rainbow people.
Mm-hmm.
Mm,
Yeah.
mm.
Yeah, I
And
believe because the Dogon, I learned a lot about this from the Dogon, studying the Dogon tribe.
I say.
When you get a true Ifa Babalawo, he will
Mm-hmm.
tell you the truth.
Mm. Mm-mm-mm.
And in this cosmos, uh, in the this cosmology as well, the Olmec cosmology,
Mhm.
they all of the solar seals, that's what they call solar seals, are also aligned with the planets.
Mm.
Every
Mm-mm.
last one of them have a planet.
Mm. Mm.
And now when you show me that, I'm like, ooh, I need to do some matching up.
Yeah, I'm gonna send it to you.
I need to do some matching up. But yes, all of the
Yeah.
archetypes have a planet associated with them as well.
Mm. Mm-mm-mm. Yeah,
Hmm.
but yep, I'm gonna send that bad boy to you. Matter of fact, after we go to this slide, I'm going to send it now, so I don't even forget because I don't want
Okay. All right. So let's talk about, this is where we are on this plasma, right? And how to use this, right? So if you let's say if you are kin number 78, you are the white cosmic mirror, right? And it says, I endure in order to reflect transcending order. I seal the matrix of endlessness with the cosmic tone of presence, and I am guided by the power of spirit. And so that's what you have, where that OjeYemi gave to you. And this is an example of a galactic signature. Now, I know that the words sound kind of flowery and poetic, but most people, when they get their galactic signature, they say, that's me.
Mm.
Now, they may not understand, in particular what endlessness mean and or whatever, but they can say, you know what, I do this all the time. Now, this is an interesting archetype, right? Because you're going to see a couple of attributes of Orisha in this archetype, right? Because the mirror is the mirror deals with divine order,
Mm.
right? Divine order and truth.
Mm.
So in Kemetic, right, of course, we would relate this archetype to like a Ma'at.
Mm.
But this archetype also is a part of the cosmic reflection, reflects the cosmos. And so that also is related to, sometimes we would say this would be got a little bit of Obatala. Oh, there you go. Okay, you back.
Oh
So
yeah,
this
I was
one.
here the whole time. I was trying to turn the fan off. I was trying to.
Okay. So yeah, got a little bit of Obatala in here. Um. Uh. Also. Yeah, because of the order, right? The king and all of those things, right? So.
Mm,
But this archetype deals with the reflection of the cosmos.
mm,
So many people who have this as their um galactic signature, they are natural empaths,
mm,
but not necessarily always feeling everything as if it is them. They are literally the ones that kind of they know what's happening. Like they like, for example, one of the priestesses who she's one of the people in our priesthood. And when I was first putting together our priesthood, and we went into this, we were doing this, we started chanting and we went into this trance.
mm,
And just as I was explaining that, okay, now the only time I go into trance if I know everybody's all right.
mm.
Right. And then I'll let myself go. But if I'm not so sure what's gonna happen with you guys, I'm gonna be 1 foot in and 1 foot out. So
Right.
anyway, she was like, oh, okay, whatever. And then so I knew I had a sister who could watch everybody. So I went in.
Mm,
And next thing I know, the sister that's the mirror, she was right behind me.
mm.
So they
Wow.
literally they reflect whatever it is that is happening um, in the order of the universe. That's what they're doing, right? And so the mirrors, they are the cosmic reflection, and they deal with order. If this was your signature, right, what does this mean, right? How would you use this in a day-to-day basis?
Mm,
It may explain your level of sensitivity
mm.
to people, places, and things. And sometimes what happen is it's people in this archetype, they may be people might say they extra, like
Mm,
they're highly sensitive, like you're too sensitive about this. Why are your feelings so hurt? Why are you so you know
mm,
about this? Why? Because they are the mirror. So when you
mm,
look at that mirror, that's it's endless. Like if you're in a hall of mirror, it's happening from all these different directions.
mm,
So sometimes those who have this archetype may have difficulty explaining what they really are feeling, what their thoughts are, and what they are experiencing. And so
mm,
when you get your galactic signature, you find out you're a mirror, you say, oh,
mm,
okay, that's what's up with me. Now, what
mm.
can I do about that?
Can I ask
Right?
you a quick question?
Sure.
Sorry to interrupt, but I couldn't. It just spirit was tearing me up. It does because this whole mirror thing that you're speaking about. When you first started talking about it, it really all I could think about is that similar to like how like our Egbe would be, in the Isheshe tradition. Is that a similar?
Yes,
So
Mhm.
we say our Egbe is our twin
yes,
that stays in
Yeah,
heaven.
yeah, twin. Yeah.
yes,
Is this like a similar like?
Well,
yes.
it is this archetype's specialty.
Mm,
Okay. To yes. So I'm gonna say as not in totality, but
mm,
yes, I understand
mm.
what you exactly what you're saying. Eh,
Okay.
So what I say about these is when you come in, you have a specialty. You have access to everything, right?
Mm-hmm.
But you also have a specialty. And so
Right.
the egg bay, yes, would be the specialty of the white mirror, right?
Gotcha.
Because they deal with endlessness, and then they have to learn how to bring it all into order, right?
Mm,
And so what helps them do that is what we have here, what you see with you'll see in the middle, it's called your destiny cross, right?
mm,
So you got the two white archetypes, right? The one in the mirror, that's the soul, right?
mm,
And then what's on top is the guide. So
mm.
this particular archetype is guided by spirit, which would be
Wow.
the wind, right? So um the they are they are led to not only be the truth, but speak the truth when they can. So sometimes this, I don't know if I know a Ken 78, but if I could guess, a Ken 78 probably is one of those people who until they learn how to speak in a certain way, they might say that they have a smart mouth or they got a sharp tongue, right? Because they live by the spirit. And then, or they might say they just say anything, right? They just say what they think out loud, right? But what helps the mirror deal with the endlessness, right? Is what you see on the right hand side, which is the red archetype, right? Which is called the planetary support. So we all, like how everybody's searching for a soulmate and they want to know who their twin flame is and who they go with, right? You walking around with it, it's called your body. Your physical body is literally the mate of the soul. Because remember how we were talking about in the beginning that this is our slower formation. We literally created our mate, our soul mate. Now, if you want to partner with somebody else that represents that, but your mate, that's why everybody is into this whole self-love, like, oh, you got to love yourself. Well, I think this is my perspective, that we are trying to remember that we are literally already mated with ourselves, as OjeYemi was saying about being androgynous, right? So it doesn't matter. That doesn't mean that we don't have a companion of destiny and things like that we, or people that we go with, or, or whatever. But if you literally understand that your grounding is yourself, then here's another way. You have different relationships because you're no longer looking for someone else to supply this part. So say you're a mirror and you went your whole life, you know what I'm saying, not understanding why you so sensitive.
Yeah.
And you never knew that your body is the one that grounds you, that gives you the support that you need. And so you might go through your whole life having bad relationships and things like that, because what you're really looking for is yourself. And particularly in this archetype, because their planetary support is the dragon. The dragon is the first archetype.
Wow.
Its specialty is to represent the creator. There go your Batala, right? or because the dragon, we call the dragon the primal force, the cosmic mother. There is also an attribute of the dragon that's like the OjeYemi, right? Because if I know that story correctly, it wasn't it the OjeYemi that brought down Arumala, or do I have that correct?
They went to war. Correct. Yeah, they definitely went to war.
Right.
They sit right there with L.A. Damati.
Yeah.
Yep. So that is the dragon. So if you are a mirror, you have to know, it is almost a must that they know their purpose. They know what they're here, and they are grounded in it, and they have to know it from source. Right. Yeah. So they actually literally, make a person, how when you do the readings and they find out if it's in your bloodline to be in the priesthood or anything like that, these ones are generally born into it because their physical body literally is calling for it, right? It grounds them. Right. Now, the other thing that happens with this archetype, because we're not just one of them, right? We have the one primary, but then we have all of the supporting parties around us, right? So then on the one that you see that's yellow, that is that's called the mental body. That's the mind of the mirror. And this one is definitely a representation of Oshun, because this one is called the artist. Right? And the artist does everything in beauty and elegance, but is also the way shower. right? Because if I know one of the stories of Oshun, if I remember correctly, Oshun was the one who was sneaking and peeking and to see what was in was it
Rumorless,
Rumorless pots? Yeah,
rumorless.
yeah, yeah, right. So, right. So the artist is the way shower, knows the way to live the art of being in beauty and elegance,
Mm, mm, mm,
right?
mm.
And then the mirror, the other way, the way that the mirror moves is through the dream, right? They move through in that dream state. And this is called the blue night, right? The blue night is literally the Akashic records.
Mm.
So this is like is it Olokun? The depths of the ocean.
That's all cool.
Olokun
Yep, Olokun, right?
knows
And
all the secrets.
knows all the secrets, all everything, and it's being put in real time.
Mm,
That's how the mirror operates.
mm.
And literally, the sister who did the slides, this is who I'm talking about. She's the one. This is the priestess that
Man,
when she found this, she definitely found her place.
we,
So
we, we
this
gotta.
is how.
We're gonna have to look. I'm gonna have to bring you back to the private community. You're definitely gonna have to come back on here because we got the comments going crazy. I'm getting text messages. This thing is lit up.
Yes,
This thing is lit up tonight, buddy.
I
I
say,
got
I
time
say.
that they want to get their signatures, but I'm like, I don't know if we're gonna have time to do it.
You,
Before we, I want you to, if you can, if we have, I really would love to be able to finish the presentation, but if we can, work something out off air where we can bring you back in the Patreon and on the channel, so maybe we can do like a Q&A with the tribe, so maybe some people can get their
okay.
signatures from you. Cool,
Yeah,
cool.
yeah, we could do that. Yeah, because actually I do have something, believe it or not, I got something at 11 o'clock. So
Okay, look,
yeah.
that worked out there because look, I didn't know it, but I got to jump on one at 11 myself. So
See?
if I ask her to
Okay,
send me the link. So tribe, if
okay,
y'all want to go a little heavier tonight, y'all can meet me on Wunaw's podcast because she gonna be having another one tonight at 11 p.m. So I'll share them links too.
all right. So
Okay,
yeah,
but
let's talk about how we can use this, and then
okay,
yeah, we can give them. We definitely can talk about that. Let's go to the next slide.
I sure appreciate that, family. I told y'all, tribe, we got y'all.
Okay, so here's some practical uses of your galactic signature, right? Your daily affirmation. Let me tell you something, and I know OjeYemi can tell you the same thing. If you say your signature every day, oh yeah, something interesting is going to happen.
No more
Okay,
war, no more
something.
conflict, no more anger, no more none of that.
Y'all better screenshot this, family.
Yeah,
Are they allowed to
something.
screenshot?
Yeah, go.
It's
Oh
going to
yes,
shift
please do.
everything about you.
Yep. Something here's some ways that I've used it, and this is now for me almost 10 years, right? Since I've had this cosmology. So my signature says, I harmonize in order to communicate, modeling breath. I seal the input of spirit with the galactic tone of integrity, and I'm guided by the power of death, right? And so one of the ways is in making a decision, right? So I've been waffling over if I want to move. I'm in the DC area. Do I want to move to Georgia? Whatever, right? So here it's easy. You say, hey, okay, if I move to Georgia, am I going to be able to harmonize in order to communicate? Absolutely, right? Modeling breath. So that's the part that what does that mean, right? In the mode of model is a mode, right? In the mode, and breathing is that's what you do, but what are you breathing? Air, atmosphere. So the winds, what we do is we either, depending on what our tone is, right, we set atmospheres. So am I going to be able to harmonize in order to communicate and be in the mode of the atmosphere that I would like based on my purpose? Okay, yes, check that off the list. I seal the input of spirit Am I still gonna be spiritual? Right? Yeah, okay, let me do that. Check that off the list, right? With the galactic tone of integrity, is it gonna be sustainable? Now, there was a time, maybe 3 or 4 years ago, it was not sustainable. It wasn't sustainable. So I had that's like, okay. And got about the power of death. Death is surrender. Death is also immortality, right? This is actually, we're in the end of a wave spell of death, and death has attributes like Eshu, because death is called the world bridger.
Yeah, oh
Knows
yeah.
all the worlds, all the gateways, where everything is and where it's not, right? And if you scared of death, you're not gonna be able to see them. You're not gonna be able to see the opportunities. You're not gonna be shown the opportunities. So that's the world bridge, right? That's my guide. So, and so at the time, 3 or 4 years ago, I used my signature. I couldn't do it to make that decision because it would not be aligned with my purpose. That's the easiest way to use, right? For understanding relationships, right? Here's real quick about what I mean, right? So you are a red kin. OjeYemi is a yellowkin. Your relationship is, you are emotional, right? You move each other, right? She can put you into motion and you can put her into motion, right? You and me, because you're red and I'm white, planetary partners. So just immediately you were like, yeah, come on to the Patreon and let's do this and let's do that, right? And then I'll be like, yeah, come on, let's do that. It'll be real easy, for us to conduct business because we're literally planetary support. Like, so that's like physical support. And so this is an easy way to understand relationships. If you have a person who sometimes, it's like y'all talking 2 and 3 different languages, especially when you disagree about something. For you, it might be a blue kin. Somebody that has a blue archetype might do that for you. For me, it may be yellow, right? Because it's called and then for OjeYemi, it might be white, right? Because we would represent each other's mental partners. So that might be what they call the challenge and the gift. But when you learn to use it as a gift, like, it's fun, it's interesting. Now with yellowkins, wow, I look to have yellowkins, right? Because we keep each other going mentally, right? And they know where I'm going and I know where they going because we're each other's minds. So, OjeYemi, like a lot of times, you even on here, you probably heard her finish my sentence, or I finished hers, because we were representing each other. Yeah. But sometimes
last week I was so moved I had to take a nap. I wasn't playing. I was serious about that.
I say. But sometimes those relationships may be the ones where you have the challenges because they represent the challenge and the gift. So when you have this cosmology and you say, oh, my mate is a yellowkin. Oh man, I see what happens. Okay. Or like, say it's somebody, like for me, a blue kin, that's my emotional body. Right. And sometimes the emotional ones can be interesting as well. But generally what happens with those are the people you can kind of be raw with, right? So you can just have whatever mood you want to have, and and you'll have that mood, and then y'all might exchange words and then say, all right, well, I'm gonna go in here, I'm going to make something, you want something, and and it's over. Those are those people who are in your emotional body. So it helps you, it stabilizes everything that you may have wondered about yourself, and then also helps you to move with people differently. That's why we love to know who we're talking to.
Yes.
because then I'll know like what position that person is, and then I'll say, okay, I know I gotta, I do it this way with them. So yeah.
Also, could I say something about your
Please.
galactic signature?
I love it.
This isn't a toy. This isn't a
No.
game. When you get this signature, just think if we were all meditating and saying our signature, every kin, every plasma, there will be no war.
Yeah.
Mm.
Collectively, we would all, the Mayans and the Olmec did this collectively.
Yeah.
Every plasma,
Yes.
every kin, they honored their galactic incarnated signature. So if
Yeah.
we were all doing this, wouldn't we be in synchrony? Wouldn't we have harmony?
Mm.
So this is what I
Okay.
say. When you get your signature, you're making a decision.
Mm.
Yes.
It's
Yeah.
just not a piece of paper. We
Mm.
say it looks like that, but when you get that signature and you truly see your purpose, you see yourself, then you now have the responsibility to do something.
Oh,
Don't get it if you're
Okay.
not going to do anything with it.
man.
Come on now.
I
Come
tell
on.
you, listen, I'm telling you, like, I don't exaggerate, family. Like, the tribe who was with me last night on that live, I don't exaggerate. I do my best not to call nothing more than it is and nothing less than it is. I do my best to paint the picture as clear as possible. I wasn't playing last night when I told y'all, like, it changed my life. Like, seriously, like, it blew
Wow.
my
Wow.
mind. It's been on the desk since I got it. I had to take a nap just looking at the chart. I didn't even get to read the message. I had to take a it's that powerful and that profound. It really is. It's not a game.
So I say the same thing as Orisha Bimbi. When I got my galactic signature, shout out to Mama Tahita.
Yes,
I
yes.
looked
What's
at
a heater?
that.
Oh man.
I'm like, oh my goodness, this is who I am. I immediately start reading and meditating. Not only did I meditate on my destiny, on my kin, I meditated with my galactic destiny cross. So I took each one of those and I asked them to reveal themselves to me. Show me in the midst of all of this.
Say.
It takes away seriously.
Mm.
Only thing I could tell you is you can tell when someone does something with the galactic signature and the destiny cross. They're no longer the same person.
No.
That's true. That's
Mm-mm.
true. That is true. Mm.
The Mayans was not only the Mayans were so wise that the 13 tones from the 13 moons are in your joints in your body.
Mhm.
The
Mhm.
archetypes are in your 10 fingers and in your 10 toes. Not only are they all in your body, not only that, they all in the planets. They all in the different countries.
Mhm.
This is mathematical genius,
Yes.
science,
Yeah.
planetary, cosmic, crystal. This is everything.
Yeah.
And just think, we collectively can shift the energy of this planet.
Yes.
Say. I say.
Mm. Mm-mm-mm. Yeah. Well, I'm gonna tell you right now, Spirit is telling me that we probably, if it's possible and everybody's schedule is in alignment, man, we definitely should do something for the summer solstice with this, because this is like I already got some stuff lining up for that too, but I feel like this definitely needs to be a part of it because this is powerful. This is profound. Like, seriously.
Maya, aren't you doing something for the summer
Yeah,
solstice?
we do. We have some every equinox and every solstice.
Hey, look, real quick before we go any further, too, Wunam said she told me that Spirit revealed to her that you're definitely supposed to be in Georgia. So, and she is a powerful seer. She powerful just like you. Like, so
I say.
Taylor said, Spirit said, yeah, she's supposed to be in Georgia.
Okay, well, I'm getting the little tingles. All right, thank you.
Yes,
I
okay.
say. I
So,
say.
want me to keep going, or you want to?
Well, you know what? I'm looking at the time, and I definitely. But look. Give them a sneak peek, though. I'm giving a sneak peek on what we're going. Because I gotta show you this. I gotta show you this.
Kevin, how many more is there? It's like 10 of them.
No, yeah. That keep going though, because that's the one that's gonna be really right. So
Okay.
this is where you can go and find it.
Good, because somebody was asking me what your website was too. So this is your
Yep.
website. Okay, so
Yep. This is my website. And then I have a QR code on the last slide too. Mm-hmm. Just keep going. Those my books. And then that QR code right there.
And I'm gonna get everything off of here. I'll snatch it down. So when I get the actual episode uploaded with the description, I'm gonna have all that in there too. So we're gonna put that out there for you for sure.
All right. Woo!
Thank you, Kentucky HP.
Man,
give thanks, Queen Mother. Yes.
I can't thank both of y'all enough, man. Because I already knew. It's funny because you and there's several other guests that I had. I didn't even talk to you, but I knew it was gonna be something crazy. I already knew just from the way she described it. I knew, and from what I got from her, I was like, oh yeah, that's gonna be crazy. But it's like it's amazing, man. Like just to see this divine alignment and how it's all coming together. Like it's powerful, and then you can't make this up. Like this is where we are, you know. And there's so many things that I feel like that look so bad and look so discouraging and look so, horrific about how things are going on in the world. But when you see something like this, it reminds me of who the F we are. Like
I say.
Can't deny it. So we appreciate you. We give thanks and gratitude for you coming through and dropping words of wisdom in this beautiful presentation on us, man. I can't thank y'all enough for that. It's powerful.
Thank you for having me. It has definitely been a pleasure and honor to be here. And yeah, I look forward to come back. Put me in, coach. Put me in.
We'll be trying to put you in this week, but we're gonna have to check in with you tomorrow and see when we can do that because the trial.
Okay.
I already knew this was gonna happen. So yeah, I'll definitely be in touch. I sent you the map already, and then I'll touch base with you tomorrow to see, when we can line something up and get you back on here and in the Patreon community. So family, we're gonna make it happen. We're gonna make it do what it do, babe. We're gonna make it do it. I appreciate you. So I'll be in touch. I'm gonna wrap up with y'all. OjeYemi, you hanging out or you gotta go too? Or before we
you gotta go, right? No.
I do, but I want to share something with them real quick too before I get out of here.
Okay, I'll hang.
Speaking on what you said, thank you. We appreciate it.
Yes.
Thank you, HP.
All right, thank you so much. I'll see y'all.
All right, wholeness.
I was before we got on this, right? I have been working on a bunch of stuff that I was bringing for, with the tribe, but it's amazing how the alignment is because I had a brother, I can't remember if it was a brother or sister, but one of them was talking about, asking about the ancestors and how to talk to the ancestors and this and that, So I've been working my butt off to try to put some things together. So literally today, I didn't get to set it up the way I wanted to, but I did get to create something that I'm looking forward to sharing with y'all family for the tribe. I got a book that I'll be dropping, an ebook. It'll be coming this week for sure for the ancestors. And so I wanted to have it all together and all lined up where everybody can, go to the website and download it, but I didn't get a chance to get it done before we came on. But I just say all that to say the way I was moved by this, and I shared that, like I said, last night, and I meant it. It was profound, and I didn't get a chance to tell you that the day when we had I was sharing it during the call, but it was just like I didn't know how much it impacted me until we got off the call. And it really did. It literally drained my battery. I'm talking about it was early in the day. It was like what 11 or 12 o'clock when we was talking. It was early in the day. It was past noon yet, I don't think. And I wasn't tired. I wasn't slow. I was wide awake when we spoke. But after that conversation, that information and that download was so extremely powerful and profound. It literally drained my entire battery. My whole energy was drained. I'm like, I had never experienced anything like that before because I've done things where it drained me. I've been around negative people and they drain my energy, or I've been around environments where it might, whatever the case may be, it could be murky energy, whatever the case, where, you get drained or you can but that was something that I had never experienced before of being drained, but in a way that it wasn't nothing negative. But I think it was just the fact that it might have been like, it kind of like for people who play video games or even if like a car, if you have something that kind of overheats and you got to kind of shut it was almost like my energy signature, like my spirit got heated up so hot that I had to kind of like to cool that bad boy down. I had to cool it down. I was like, yo, this is nuts. But I say all that to say that the creative energy and Ashe and power have been on me so heavy that I've been putting in so much work. It's not even funny. Like I literally got a book together today because I was like, I wanted to answer the brother or the sister's comment because they was asking about how to appease the ancestors. I'm like, I need to put something together for that. So it's done, family. So I'm gonna definitely have that coming soon. It'll probably be up tomorrow, Thursday, for me to share that with you. But I'm gonna give it away because
well, Alicia Bambi,
yes, ma'am.
when I got I'm very passionate about this. I'm very serious.
Oh yeah.
1320, this is no joke and this is no game. So I tell people, if you truly want to shift, if you truly want to be, we come here sacred and divine. We
Yes.
came here with everything that we needed. This is cosmic. This is galactic. This is
Yeah.
planetary. This is the crystal grid. This is just this 1320 is so powerful. It's layered.
Mm.
This is just the first layer. So I tell people, when you start study that galactic signature, you study your cross. Now, when I give out the galactic signature and the cross and the destiny cross, I also I give you everything that you need so you can do this for yourself. So you can study. If you study, it's going to reveal itself to you. It's going to show you exactly what you need. It's going to wake up that body because the 13, which the 13 is also the 13 tones of creation, but they're also the 13 moons. So the Mayans knew that it was 13 moons for the 13 cycles of sistering. It takes 28 days for the moon to go around the sun.
Mm.
So what Jose Agregulis did was he took the Zolkin calendar and he modernized it for us everyday people, and he said we call them heptads. We don't use the word week, and we don't use the word days. So each day is considered a plasma.
Mm.
Each heptad runs from 1 to 7. The first heptad is the color red. Red is the initiator.
Mm.
The second heptad runs from 8 to 14. It is the white heptad. White refines. The third heptad runs from the 14th to the 21st. It is the blue heptad. Blue transforms. Then from the 22nd to the 28th is the fourth heptad. It's yellow. Yellow ripens. So each one of these builds upon top. Everything starts with the primordial mother, the dragon. She's the initiator. This cosmology runs, each archetype is in 4 sets: red, white, blue, and yellow. Then the next 4, and the next 4. So what's called is each starts with the red dragon and it ends with the yellow sun.
Mm. Mm.
20 solar seals, 20 archetypes. Then when you go to the 13 tones, the 13 moon calendar, each tone starts with the magnetic and it ends with the cosmic. And each one of these tones is a power, an action, and an essence. Also with the solar seals, a power, an action, and an essence.
Mm.
Each moon carries a power, an action, and an essence. We're in the galactic moon, the galactic hawk moon. This moon says, harmonizes, it models, and it deals with integrity. So throughout this whole galactic moon, you should be asking, am I in harmony? Do I model? And do I walk in integrity? Each archetype, which is the 260, 13 times 20 is 260. The 260 are the 260 expressions that you get to express the creator. Every can, every plasma is an opportunity for you to express your highest and your greatest self, your of that plasma, of that can. There's no one. When I gave her sister her galactic signature, I said, well, there's no one greater than the next. Ain't no big me's and little I's in this cosmology.
I love that.
Each one carries a purpose, a power, an action, and a function. So they all depend on each other.
Mm, 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 mm. I say, oh, I love that. I love, and that's from the big mamas.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. I've been saying that. I don't know if it holds as much weight as you. You can't deny it from you.
Well, you
But
know
you
how I feel
really
about it. I
did
don't
not.
believe in titles, none of
I
that.
know. I know. Look,
You
look,
know,
I ain't gonna lie.
and right.
It took me probably about a good month or two of us communicating to just call you OjeYemi because I was calling you EI and yeah, and you know, and I'm like, you really do not, you don't accept that. I'm like, dang, I had to really like unlearn and relearn for real, just to respect your wishes because
Right.
I'm just
So,
so
and I
used to,
also
you
need
know.
to share with you about what this does. It opens up your telepathic.
Mm,
It opens up your intuition. It opens up your whole mind,
mm,
your
mm,
dreams, your visions, everything shifts. So if you're not ready, you better get ready.
mm.
I have a sister friend, HP Amisat. She can tell you about how her vision has increased, her dreams. She even says it for her grandchildren and how a shift has took place. This is so powerful. My sons are traditional, but I sent them their galactic signature, and it's up to them whether they want to say that or not. But I sent it to them.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to get with you to get some for me and some of me and my family too because, like I said, it's and you know I didn't even know. I don't. If you told me, I didn't remember. I didn't know I was supposed to say my signature every day. But now you
Yes,
told me
every
that.
day. As a matter
Uh,
of fact, I say mine's 3 times a day.
it's funny.
And
I was
when you right, just when you
morning,
just
afternoon,
because
and
right, and not only I didn't because I want when I tell people I don't explain. Only thing I'll explain is the destiny cross
at
because in the your soul, your spirit body, your emotional body, your physical body, and your mental body.
Mm,
All of that right there. You didn't come to this planet by yourself. You
mm,
came with your physical, your mental, emotional, and your spiritual body and your
mhm,
soul, the Ka and the Ba.
mm,
But if
mhm,
you, I can only tell, if you work this Ashe and and look like she said, it looks like it's all flowery. But if you go in and you really pay attention to the words and you look those words up and you get the meaning of it and you indigest that, hmm, and I just think if we were all doing this collectively,
yeah.
this is the responsibility. There's no one can do this for you. You have to do it for yourself.
Mm, mm, mm,
This
mm.
is the first layer. Every more you do it, the deeper you go in, the deeper the layers unfold. And there's also another piece of this called a hollow mind perceiver. It deals with the 7 mental spheres. Oh, this is
Yeah, yeah. Yeah. Mr. and Mrs. King, y'all got to check us out when we do our private community call. I'll definitely be sharing it because I'm planning on getting both of them in that Patreon, you know, in the private community. So we're gonna take this thing real deep because this is I'm telling you, it's powerful. And I want to share this too real quick before I get out of here. I want to share this with y'all the book because I'm gonna get it set up to where I can share it with the tribe tomorrow. But see if I can get it real quick. So yeah, hopefully I should have it ready to go tomorrow, family. I just got to build the website out and all that. But it's a guide because, like I said, so many different people that come to the channel, they're just starting their journeys and want to know how to get set up with talking to the ancestors, communicating with the ancestors, setting up a shrine. So boom, I got that bad boy set up for y'all right there tomorrow. I should have the link set up for y'all to go ahead and get that bad boy and download it, but it's a short book, probably about I think maybe 15 pages, but it literally for people who are in the very beginning stages of their journey, it like literally teaches you prayers, teaches you like how to pour libations, teaches you how to set up your ancestral shrine. I'm gonna work on putting together an actual video or training presentation to actually show people how to set up the shrine and all that stuff, just like how that one's laid out. But it's all in the book for you, so I'm gonna definitely just get that out to the tribe for the ancestors, because like I said, the ancestors have been on me heavy and they've been giving me downloads, so I got to be obedient. But we definitely have the ebook coming of how to venerate your ancestors on a daily basis, or how to appease the ancestors daily. So it's coming tomorrow, family. I'll definitely be sharing that, on the website and on the channel for the tribe, man. So I'm definitely looking forward to getting this thing going and getting back to these signatures and making it happen and making it do what it do and be what it be. And for matter of fact, Mr. and Mrs. King, I'll make sure that I get y'all the link too, because I want y'all to get a copy, because something I saw, one of the lives we did earlier this week, I didn't know, but YouTube has a way where they can show, you can see who the most active participant person is in the comments. And so I said, you know what, I'm gonna start giving people, you know, some sort of appreciation gift for being active in the comment and in the comments, and you know, showing the love and showing the support that the tribe be doing. So I'm gonna figure out a way, you know, to show that love right back by, you know, donating, whether it's some material or divination section or something, you know, just to show the love and appreciation, family. I definitely appreciate each and every single one of y'all. I appreciate you, OjeYemi. I thank you for not only giving me my divine cross, but also, you know, for coming through and dropping the wisdom tonight, and for bringing the Queen HP in this thing with us too. So I definitely give gratitude and thanks to you for all that you do.
Because I want all my people eating good, living good, and doing good. I want all my people eating good, living good. I want all my people who's willing, ready, and able to be their true, sacred, divine self.
I sure. I'm not gonna say anything else after that. All I'm gonna say is thank you again. I appreciate you, tribe. I appreciate all of y'all, and y'all heard Big Mama. She said it's a wrap, and you heard what she said about how she want all of us. So we gotta level up and make sure we get there. So I give thanks again, and I'll see y'all on the next episode, family. We out.
Right. Thank you, Arisha Bemby.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Absolutely. Ashe.
ẹni tó gbàgbé ilé ṣàpò ìyàgbọ́ tẹ́ǹtì ẹni takísà ní tàtàn ò bá padà sílé anítìjà kọ ẹja lọ pé eégún mo ṣe ní gbẹ́rẹ́ ìpàkọ́ forsake not your ancestors and praise your.